Hello, everybody. It is Sterling Fields, and we are back again with Relentless Work Ethics. All right, RWE community, how are you guys doing? All right, so today, everybody, this is our first message ever from RWE. All right, and I'm extremely excited. I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely excited. All right, it's a powerful message. All right, but before we get to this message, though, let me tell you guys something. Every single message from RWE, we come with a relentless approach, all right? Relentless approach. Relentless means oppressively constant. So we are oppressively constant with working towards our goals. So we are constantly working. But we need to know we need to learn certain things so we can keep on working. We kind of need our food, we need our energy to get back up and work again. So right now we're just in chill mode. All right, we're relaxing, we're getting our food, we're absorbing our food. So that way, after this message, you guys are full and you guys are ready to go. You guys have all the energy in the world to go work towards your goals. So today's message is, do not let the past take over our present and affect our future. All right, that is huge because I know a lot of people that let the past affect their future and take over their present. All right, I know a lot of people that happens to. That actually happened to me a whole lot, and I'm so glad I learned this. I learned this in college actually, but first thing I realized that people tend to do is, like, some people let the past affect how they do things in the future. So we must realize that why the way we feel we do when a situation comes up. All right, so what was it in the past that makes me feel this way about this situation? Why do you feel failure before the situation kind of hits? Why do you feel like, oh man, here we go again? Here we go again. This situation arises again. What happened in the past? Exactly what happened? Look back and realize what happened, so that way we can deal with the situation in the first place. All right. Because if you don't know what happened, then you're going to consistently go back in the situation and consistently fail in the situation. We do not want that. We are winners at RWE, all right? Relentless work ethics community. We are winners here. So we don't want to go back and think. So when we go back in the past, we want to know what we did, what we kind of did wrong, so we can kind of correct it and learn our way to learn to do better in the future. Another thing is, people make the mistake of taking the rough past as a loss, and they're not really losses. When you situations that happened in the past where you might have failed, or like situations that came in your life that you can't control happen, that doesn't mean that you lost. All right, they're actually W's, because at the moment, yeah, you might have lost at the moment, but when that situation comes back up, you're going to know how to deal with the situation. You're going to overall win. All right, we need to look at this with a positive perspective. All right, overall, we are going to win at the end of the day. We also are scared of our weaknesses taking over. So when we look back, we go back in our past and we see the situation come up again in the past, and it's a weakness of ours, we try to avoid the weakness. We don't want to avoid our weaknesses. We don't make our weaknesses strengths. All right, so when we see when our weaknesses come up again, and we go back, and we do not want to go back in the past and look at it as a negative. We want to go back in the past and look at it as a positive. All right, this is what happened to me now, but I learned from this situation, and now I'm going to achieve. That's our whole mentality. All right, so why losses are overall wins, and because at the end of the day, like I said, we just overall need to look at it as a learning experience. This is all learning experience, all right? We cannot come into the situation fearful. We can't be scared, all right? Fear is a huge part of this, because when something happens in the past, we're scared of it happening again, all right? But we got to understand, we have the power to learn and get through the situation. We have the power. Us people have the power when the situation occurs to be able to kind of build ourselves up and make a better future for ourselves. All right? So we got to overcome the past. So, I have a story for you guys. It's about a woman who went to law school. A woman who went to law school at a very good university, a huge university. All right, here it goes. So there was a young woman who went to one of the top universities, all right, for law school. She went to a class. She went to classrooms full of men every single day, but she went in extremely confident, all right, because she knew she was smarter than a lot of these men that were in the class. It didn't really matter, all right. So, but there was one class that everyone at the university kind of struggled with, and she was one of the people that found this class very challenging. For some reason, this class was just challenging for her, all right. So she made sure she studied extremely hard for this exam. She made sure she saw a lot of people study for this exam. She was studying twice as much for the exam. She studied approximately like 2 weeks every single day for this exam, multiple times throughout the day. She was studying for it, all right? But she still had a hard time like understanding the information a little bit. She was very nervous about the exam because it was her first one. She was just very nervous about the exam. She so basically it was exam day, all right? It was the day before the exam. I apologize. The day before the exam that she realized she felt like she didn't have all the information. So she was nervous and she studied all night. She studied till 3 a.m. in the morning. The day before the exam, she studied till 3 a.m. in the morning. That's extremely hard on the body, guys. Do not do that. But look, I'm going to continue with the story. She woke up tired, went and took the exam. She went and took the exam. She was very nervous taking the exam. She was not very confident with herself, and she turned in her exam, all right? So she came back 2 weeks later, all right? The professor, he gave back everyone's exams, all right? And the class average was a B. She looked at her exam. She saw she had a D on the exam. So she was like, oh, man, what's going on? I had a D. I studied really hard for this exam and all this kind of stuff. So she did the right thing, and she went and talked to her professor after class about the exam. After she talked to her professor, her professor kind of let her know, like, well, I'm busy. I can't really help you. Like, I'm too busy. It's a huge university. He had a lot of papers to grade. He had a lot of things going on. So he didn't have the time to really help her. So she was kind of upset by that because she didn't know. She was upset, scared, and nervous because she didn't know what she kind of did wrong. She didn't understand the information, and she couldn't really see on the exam. She couldn't really see on the exam what she did wrong and how she did it. So she sat down with herself and she prayed about it, thought about it hard. She was scared about failing the class. So it clicked to her at one time. At one moment, it just clicked, boom, it clicked that she studied too hard for the exam. She worked way too hard, all right? And it was in her head like, man, I do not want to fail again. I do not want to fail again. So the next exam came up. She was studying for that 2 weeks before the exam began. This time, she was smart, though. She knew she didn't understand all the information, so she studied in a group, all right? And then she studied by herself as well, so that way she had a better understanding of the information, and she went over it twice. So it's all about repetition, so she kept studying the information, but she did it in a time where it wasn't overwhelming for her, all right? So the day before the exam comes up again, exam number 2, the day before exam number 2. Man, she was nervous, all right? She woke up, but she realized that this is the same exact feeling she had before she took the first exam. So she looked back in the past and she saw what she did, and she was up studying all night. So this time she said, no, I am not going to study all night. I'm going to be confident with my studies. She's going to be confident with herself and with her studies, and she's going to ace this exam. So all she did that day was review the exam one time. She went to bed at a good time. She got at least 8 hours of sleep before the exam, but she didn't get too much sleep, but she got about 8 hours of sleep. She woke up and she got to the exam early. All right, she got to the exam early before even the teacher was there. So she was ready. She was confident for this exam. She was taking the exam and she knew every question to the exam. Even though she knew every answer. Even though there were some hard ones, she still fought through it and she knew that she got the right answer on it. So when she turned that exam in, she finished in a nice time. She took her time. When she turned it in, she was confident. She left with confidence. 2 weeks later, all right, he turns the exams back in. She got an A on the exam. And the class average was just a B. So she exceeded her goal by a milestone. And that's huge, all right? So the meaning of the message is the past experiences we face are meant to build us up and to give us strength for the future events that we face. So she did not let her past event hinder her future. She didn't just fold. She did not fold to the pressure. She didn't think that she realized that she could still pass. She could still do really well in this class. It was just her first exam. She didn't let her first exam scare her and defeat her. All right, she defeated the first exam because now she got a good grade on her second exam, and that put her in a wonderful position to get a good grade in her class. All right, when something bad happens in the past, we have to realize that we have the power. Again, we have the power to learn from it. Second time I believe I said this in the video, but it's very powerful. It's very important that we understand that we have control of our future. All right, there's a lot of things in life that we can't control, but we have a lot of control over how successful we can be, because we will not let the past defeat us. All right, like she did, we can do the same thing with our past events, and when the same event comes up again, do a lot better on it. All right, we can do a lot better on whatever happened in our life. All right, so when we have to remain confident through anything we do, whether it's playing a basketball game, football game, baseball game. We have to remain confident going out there playing, guys. Whether it's taking an exam, studying for an exam, whether it's presenting in the classroom, whatever it is that might not even be our strength, but might even be our strength, but whatever we're nervous about, we have to be confident in doing it, all right? Because that just improves our performance that much better. Trust me, it does. It improves our performance that much better when we go out with confidence, all right? And the more we hold on to the past, the harder it is to get better, all right? The harder it is to maintain a bright future. So the more that we hold on to the past in a negative way and we look at the past like, man, this happened, this really happened. I can't believe this happened to me. All right? And the more that we do that, the harder it is, and we don't come with a learning mentality, the harder it is to have a bright future, because a lot of the time past events are put in place in our lives for future events, all right? So that's just how it is in life, you know. God, he does that a lot of the time. He gives us certain situations for us to overcome for the future, all right? To help prepare us for the future, all right? So that happens all the time. So that's why it's important for us to be able to overcome our past. And this overall thing is similar to Piaget's theory of constructivism, all right? Piaget's theory of constructivism argues that people produce knowledge and form meaning based upon their experiences, all right? So Piaget, he actually studied his children. So he realized that his children actually learned through experiences more. than maybe in the classroom or just someone telling them something. And that's the truth. That's a lot of the time with us too. That happens with everybody at every age. We have to go through certain things to learn certain things sometimes. All right? We have to go through certain events in our life in order to learn, in order to um gain knowledge. All right? That's huge. That's huge. And that's just in life, period. That's all the time. All right? So guys, that was our first message for relentless work ethics, guys. RWE community, I thank you for your time. I also want to let you guys know that we had our very first requested topic, all right? And that topic is how to remain focused and motivated to achieve our goals, all right? That's a huge topic. I feel like a lot of people can learn from this topic, all right? I also want to remind you guys, if you guys have any suggested topics, please shoot me an email at relentlessworkethicsrwe@gmail.com. All right, if you have any suggested topics, all right, go ahead. Don't be shy. Go ahead. I also want to let you guys know that you guys can also hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, and my information will be in the description down below. All right. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I hope this message helped you guys a lot. RWE, Relentless Work Ethics, we are signing out.